Okay, it looks like we're live tonight. I want to welcome all of our participants, and I want to make sure that we take care of kind of your Maslow needs to start out. The first thing I would say to you is that we have a lot going on in this environment, but there is a very systematic method to our madness. We are doing some very disruptive things in Second Life as the North Carolina Virtual Public School, of which I'm the Executive Director, Brian Setzer. But tonight, I'm in the Hindu concept of an avatar, and I'm standing in your environment on a stone-looking ramp that says Agree. Also, my co-moderator tonight and host is Zora Windlow in avatar form, but in real life, this is Miss Susan Wells, who is the principal at Culbreth Middle School in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Our work tonight is really to spend some time, about an hour, and to stay on task with many participants that are coming in from Virginia, North Carolina, and from different parts of the university system and K-12 systems. We are going to address the title of tonight's presentation, which is behind where I'm standing, called Creating a Culture of Learning Through Virtual Worlds. Now, to do that kind of learning and to create such a culture, you've got to take care of some basic ground rules first. You will notice that you have a large facility, the North Carolina Virtual Public School building, all the way across from where I'm speaking on the stone slabs tonight. There you will find two easels. One easel will explain the ground rules for this session, and if at any time you get a little lost or you need some help, certainly that can be a resource for you. But also to my right, you're going to see some stone slabs that have NCVPS staffers on them. So at this time, I'm going to ask our lady in red for the evening, Jill Kipps, to come to the middle stone slab. And we'll also have our Chief Academic Officer for the North Carolina Virtual Public School, Tweaks Merlin, in her avatar name, all the way to the right. These are folks that can help you tonight on the stone slabs. And if I can also get Adam, or Adam Zapatero, to come to the middle stone slab. At this time, much like a regular school, we're kind of putting out an all-call, if you will, over Second Life for Jill Kipps and Adam I. Zapatero to come to the stone slabs, and they'll be helping you in the chat window tonight express your viewpoints. So while it seems like we have a lot going on, we're basically going to be doing three types of learning styles tonight. One is going to be auditory. We're going to have a dialogue between Susan and myself about key questions. Another type of learning is going to be bi-directional, where you use the chat feature at the bottom left of your screen to indicate your approval, your disapproval, your need for clarification to the points being expressed. And this bi-directional chat window is also going to talk about links that make sense for you. So you'll see down at that bottom left corner, I've entered hello, and my avatar's name is Innovator Quan. So you should be able to see that. Susan's avatar, Zora, will also enter hello. And you should also see some information about right-clicking to sit down. Now, one of the things we don't want to do tonight is replicate bad face-to-face practice. So if we have the power go out, like a fire drill in a regular school, we may switch over to Skype and give you directions at the bottom left-hand corner of how to join the conversation again through the local chat window. We also don't want you to sit all night, but I'll tell you why we had you do that. Because we have a small space on this particular island, and your audio stream works much better in the chairs, on the grass, or sitting on the foundation of the virtual public school or inside of it. So unlike face-to-face, we're okay with you moving around. We're okay with you hitting a fly button. But understand if you do, you may be out of range once you go above the virtual school building. So just giving you some background on some of the roles we'll be playing tonight. You can see now that we have a black-shirted gentleman on the stone, along with our red-dressed Jill, and those people, along with our green-shirted Tweaks Merlin, will be helping you tonight if you need assistance in the chat room. So with that, we're also going to begin to reference some of the things that you're seeing in my opening remarks. As I'm standing and addressing the crowd, you will see to my left a series of placards. I'm going to walk off of the actual stone ramp at this point, come over to where the chairs are, and take a left turn. I am moving towards 3 to 4 placards that represent 3 or 4 of the really key concepts in the virtual world right now. We are in Second Life, and as my friend David Warlick likes to say, this is the big creepy treehouse. This is where things can go right or things can go terribly wrong. So we're using it from an adult perspective to learn. But Susan's work at Culbreth Middle and our work at North Carolina Virtual are really about creating worlds that we can also interact with and control. That's why we partner with NC State's Wolfland Islands to work on Teen Second Life for 13 to 17-year-olds. It's also why on these placards we're referencing Active Worlds, Quack, and also EnterZon for our elementary work, where people can have safe sandboxes to play in that are secure and they can get the whole immersive experience. So I would encourage you tonight, whether after the session or during the session, to look at some of those links. Adam is now bringing up on the local chat at the bottom, ActiveWorlds.com. He'll be referencing Quack here in a minute and also talking about EnterZon. These are links that you can go back to tonight by clicking on the local chat button and copying and pasting into a Word document. So one of the advantages here is that it's immersive learning not just in the environment, but also in how you can use the resources after you leave without any handouts, without any brochures, without any notebooks. You can keep it all in your digital files. Our approach tonight to the actual learning is going to be a series of 5 questions that address this need to create a culture for virtual learning. I'm going to respond to the first question, and then Susan's going to respond to the question from a practitioner standpoint at the school district level. So I'll kind of touch some broad strokes about what we're seeing internationally and also what we're seeing across the states and the Southeast region. And I'll also talk a little bit about how that works in our world as far as development. Then Susan will address how that's being applied. So what we hope you learn tonight is that our thinking is really based on how this cascades from the national scene down to the school scene. Also, after our comments, Adam will reference a couple of key links for you, and at one point during the presentation tonight, we'll do some polling. So with all that said, we need to do kind of a quick status check. Maybe we can use our local chat window at the bottom that kind of says, I'm good, sounds great, or you can indicate that you still need some help or that you're having a little trouble with the audio. Maybe you're even having some trouble understanding how to sit or interact. So let's have a little chatter before we begin on the local chat, just by indicating with one simple word, you're good, you need some help, you need some assistance, and we'll take care of you before you begin. And I'll allow for about 30 seconds as we're setting up for the question for you to kind of chat in that lower left-hand window. So what we should be seeing with a couple of you is you moving your hands and typing in there, and that you feel comfortable with where we started out tonight.
The tea is good. Excellent.
Seeing some great early responses. Appreciate that. And while